I will. I'm going to record. We're in. So welcome to the Successfit team call, guys. It is August 3rd. Wow, that always goes fast every time I look at the date. And I was just saying how excited I am to have everybody on. And there's some new faces, which is always really great. So welcome those of you who are new and on. And tonight, before we're going to talk all about sort of our main summit takeaways. We have a lot of summit goers on. The diamonds are going to lead and share their takeaways. And if anyone else has some they want to kind of share with the team, we would love to hear them. We all like to talk. So I'm hoping that if you guys have questions that you'll share, and we're certainly going to try to share our action step takeaways as well. So not just what we got out that really motivated us, but what we're going to put into action right now in our businesses, because that's really what's key. You know, we go and we get all this awesome information and awesome motivation, and but what matters, I think, now is what we choose to do with it. So before I dive into that, I do want to talk about two things that I'm kind of excited about. First was the little push your rank competition that wasn't supposed to happen, but is happening. I know it was a bit confusing because I tagged, Larissa asked me to see the lingo for it that I posted about this last October. It was a very successful thing for our team. I had a whole bunch of swag, different products that we have that I've just gotten extras of or ordered and haven't used. And the idea was that you would pair up with someone who has a similar level of you in the business. So if you're a coach, another coach, if you're an emerald, and so on and so forth, and work together and push each other to reach the next rank in your business. And then if you did that, then if you both did that, then you would get to choose a prize for my swag bag and I would send it out. And it was extremely successful. I think we had 10 or 12 rank advancements last October. So we are going to do it again. That was my plan, but since everybody saw it and was sounding excited about it, I thought, let's just dive in. But because I copy and pasted, there was a bit of confusion in the lingo. I thought I'd just clear it up tonight. We're going to do it again. We will start now. I'm going to give you guys 2 months this time. I think that if you're ready to dive in, that you can absolutely grab your partner. We've got Cup going on this month as well. So there's some exciting prizes this month, but I'm going to give everyone till the end of September to, with your buddy, work together and move up in rank. And that also gives our new coaches, as they're coming on, the opportunity to start helping other people with their challengers and their challenge groups and help them join their team. And for those of you new coaches, if you don't know what some of these things are, that's okay. We can have a conversation after. But so that is one thing I wanted to clarify. If you have questions, you can unmute and ask them now or ask them later. But the other thing I'm really, really excited about is that last February, we had our Successfit's very first Diamond Leadership Retreat. And it was probably because it was the first time we, after the end of last year, was the first time we had diamonds except beyond me. And it was a really special time for me. I know we had a call that kind of debriefed it. It was a chance for us to get together, to learn from each other, to, I think, have some pampering, have some great meals and hang out, of course. But at the end of the day, for me, I think what it really did is kind of root us more in our friendships and our relationships with each other. And that was really kind of special. It allows us to continue to collaborate and get to know each other and also feel like you're not alone on an island. It's a really special retreat, but you have to qualify for it. And so we are going to announce the next Diamond Leadership Retreat and sort of the qualifications you need in order to be invited, because it is something that you get invited to, and there's that we kind of cover and pay as your uplines. So let me just screen share real quick and show you what we've got going on. Can you guys see? So we're going to do the next Successfit Diamond Leadership Retreat in Niagara. Probably more in Niagara. We're going to make sure we get into Niagara on the lake. But really, we're going to get together. It'll be January 26th to 29th. So nice dead of winter. But the idea will be leadership training, team building, spa pampering, and really just fun time to spend together. And the important thing here, I think, is that for you to qualify for this, you need to reach the diamond level in your business by November 24th. And there'll be some levels beyond that in order for you to get invited. you'll have to reach that level, but there'll probably be some sort of extra spa treatments and things like that, that if, as long as you hold your diamond for the end of the year, that you'll be able to qualify for too. But that's your date. If you're looking at this point, if that's something that drives you, if you want to be a part of that, or if you're looking right now at this business and hitting diamond this year is important to you, this is the date you need to shoot for. You've got to reach that point. So write it down. If you have questions, ask your upline, ask now, that's fine. Otherwise, I will stop that screen share. We have some chats. So let me just kind of open up really quickly. Country wine, yes. There will probably be wine. And what's wine? Oh gosh, sorry. Good. Everyone's been really, really excited about it. Okay, so no major questions. So let's dive in. And I'm going to have, Chanel was my very first diamond, so I'm going to have her go first. And this is her second summit. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Chanel, and have you kind of dive in and share your summit takeaways. And you guys, feel free to ask questions, ask them in the chat, unmute and ask, if you're not clear. But what we want here is to be able to share with you the really amazing info and energy that just kind of came at us and help you put it forward in your businesses. So you're up.
Do you want to mute everybody before she starts?
Yes, that's a great idea. I will mute you all. Hang on. Thanks, Larissa. Okay, mute all. And there we go. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Bria. I'm actually glad you picked me first because Shayla is sick and I didn't know if at any point I would have to jump off and then miss the chance to share. So I think I'm good for a couple minutes. I have no idea how many of us are sharing. So if you know me well, I talk a lot. I'll try to keep it brief. So top two takeaways, I think. Okay, so number one, I say this all the time, but I am like a Beachbody event junkie. I'm all about the events. I've been all about the events since the beginning. And for me, so I'm basically speaking to those who haven't been to an event yet or don't know why it's important or whatever. I think for me, it's just so important to go to the events because it's what makes this whole business real. It's what makes what we're doing real and tangible, and you can meet people, seeing them face to face, and that connection is so strong. And I think that's what really makes us feel like a team. There's only so much that we can connect online with people, and going and meeting people face to face and really building those connections, I think is so important. And I love this team. I fully love this team. I love hanging out with everyone at the events, the Super Saturdays, the cruise. I've gone to every single event possible, Success Club trip, summit, every Super Saturday except one since I started. I am a total junkie. Anyway, and that's also where I get just a lot of motivations and ideas, along with obviously team calls and national wake up call. But I think that this business, it can be easy to be oh, I just need to spend the time over here to do stuff. But I think it's important to I think actually the foundation, all of the work that I do in my business comes from actually attending events and being a part of the community. I'm not sure if I'm really expressing my point well, but
I think that's great. No, I think that you're sharing, obviously, I think you're sharing the value of even going just for the sake of the feeling and the energy that you can get.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I feed off of it a lot. And, yeah, so, okay. So second takeaway, I guess, from the summit, what I'm going to go forward with my business. I think, and I got this a lot last year, this is something I think I struggle with, or I don't feel very, I'm very good at this, but it's sharing my story. But I do get feedback from other people that I do, I don't know. I feel like I can do a way better job at sharing my story and sharing actually a lot more of myself. I feel inspired and I feel ready to to really just put myself out there in such a bigger way. There's been like different levels. I remember in the first few months, I was really afraid to put myself out there. I was really afraid to message people. And then like I had this moment, I spoke on a team call where I said, I just had to get over myself. Like I had to get over myself and be like, I'm not that important. Like in the sense that like, you know, I'm not that important that like people are going to zero in on things I'm posting and criticize or judge or think about me, you know, after they slide my crap up on their news feed. Like it's not that important, you know, unless it's like they're moved, you know, in a positive way, which is a different issue. But I was afraid of like judgment, right? And so I had to realize that like I'm not that important that I'm going to be focused on, and it's not about me. And I got that early on. And so there's been different levels of peeling back that onion. So I think now I feel a lot more inspired to just kind of share a lot more of who I am and what I've been going through, because I did go through a hard time in my life in 2015 and a really big, long journey. And I didn't share the journey that I was going through because I didn't feel like it was positive enough. But now coming out on the other side, I've learned so much through all of my struggles. I wish that I was sharing as I went, but anyways, I'm going to open up more, and I was just really inspired by the leaders at Summit. And Andrea Crowder, she's my favorite. I love her. She said, this was moving because the story led up to it, but she just said, really, she was like, what is for you will not pass you. All of the people who are meant to work with you will find you when you're ready to receive them. And that's so true. I feel like this business it's a gold mine when you're ready to receive it. Like when you feel worthy enough, when you have enough self-confidence, when you get over yourself, like when you find your vision or your purpose or whatever, then you will be ready to receive all the gifts. So that's what I take away from that.
That was awesome, Chanel. You're right. That was a very moving quote, wasn't it? And what a valuable reminder that we're always just trying to grow in this. So, awesome. Can everyone share their favorite, please? Oh, okay. Favorite coach or favorite trainer. So while you say everyone who's taking their takeaways, Sabrina has a great idea. Also share your favorite coach or favorite trainer, and you can share it in the text or in your message. Okay, Larissa, we're going to move on to you. You'll have to unmute.
There we go. Sorry, my computer is being weird. And I apologize for the ears. It's just been one of those days. But, all right. Okay, I'm going to be really quick. Top 2 takeaways. I'm going to steal this before anybody else says it because Gary Vee was the bomb. And I really hope that, I'm sure maybe, Brie, you know where the playbacks are from all the videos from Summit, that people can find them. I know that I didn't go to Summit. This was my first one. And I remember watching them live somewhere on YouTube or in the back office. I'm not quite sure where, but I know that you can find these videos somewhere of all these talks. But Gary Vee's was for sure, hands down, like just super moving for me. I mean, everything was moving. I could probably do an entire chat on my takeaways, but the number one thing that resonated with me specifically from him was patience. And for anybody that knows me, or maybe you don't even need to know me very well, but I don't have much patience. I like to do everything fast, very efficient. And this business, the one thing that drives me crazy about it is that it's hard to move fast because you're really, in the first year of doing it, you're laying a foundation. And you don't want to also lay a foundation really fast because you can't build on a bad foundation. You want your foundation to be built with solid bricks, not little sticks that can blow away, or, you want your base to be amazing. And I think that a lot of my issues with the business in the beginning was that I wasn't moving fast enough and I wasn't giving myself like the patience. And when he said that like all CEOs of all companies and everybody that's been great, it didn't just happen overnight. It's like Steve Jobs didn't come up with like the idea of Apples and iPads and all that like overnight. Like he had to work really hard for it and have that patience that his vision would come to reality someday. And for whatever reason, I needed that validation. And it was like he just spoke to me. I mean, I've given myself patience and we've all gotten here this far, but at some point it hits you in this business and you're like, okay, really? You're like, no, just have the patience and it's going to come. And it was like just one of those aha moments for me. So that was number one. And then quickly, number two was, it comes down to your why in this business and your passion and your desire. But we all know that the vital behaviors are so crucial and key to success. And in some ways it can become really redundant because you're like just sending out all of these invites and a lot of the time you're getting no's, but then you get the yes and you're really happy. But, you know, that perseverance and AKA patience comes from like your deep down why. And I think that a lot of speakers talked about that your why can change and, you know, over time it really will change. But I think what's important for us, and even myself, I have to do this week, is go back and rewrite my why. Because I know that my why has changed since the day that I signed up, even from 6 months ago. And since Summit, I feel like my why has changed again. And I think that we're all coming off this momentum of Summit. And if you did have a good month last month and you're coming off this big high, but we know that every single month isn't going to be our best month and that being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster. So what can you do for yourself when maybe you are on the low and you know that it's going to come up, but then it comes back to like, what's your why, what's your desire, and what's your passion in this business? And if we could all tonight or like this week at some point write it down for ourselves, because in a couple months, maybe we're going to need to look back at it and be reminded of how amazing the Summit experience was, how amazing this business is, and how amazing our team is that we work together. But we all need to have that why placed somewhere so that we can go back to it when we're not having great days. That was from the Scotty Hobbs one.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love Scotty Hobbs for sure. He's always very moving. But yeah, that was great, Larissa. Thank you. Jody, we're going to move on to you next.
Right. Excuse me. Hello, everybody. It was my first summit. So this is like, you know, I guess the same as Larissa, we both signed up in the spring of 2015 and sort of watched from the sidelines, I guess, while Bria and Chanel were at Summit, and it looked exciting and also like, you know, huge. So to be there this year was really awesome. It was really awesome. And so my top two takeaways were very related to each other. I guess maybe my favorite presentation was Christina Delgado and Becky Brosset, their sisters, that kick ass together in the business. I don't know if you know Christina Delgado, but she gave up a career in law to be a Beachbody coach. And somehow that's validating for me. Like, wow, if someone could leave that kind of career to do this, I'm not fooling myself. This is legit. One of her messages was to go all in, like lean into the challenges, lean into what's hard. And this keeps coming back up this week for me in my mind. This first time that I tried to get like fit as an adult, Jeff and I went for this run, and I could only go about 7 minutes, not even. And I was failing. My lungs hurt, my heart was racing, and I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this. And fast forward a whole bunch of time, and I've gone all in with my fitness, and I see the results. I haven't gone all in with my business or my nutrition or my challenges, which are, you know, organization and time management. But hearing her tell me that I need to give myself permission to just go all in, it's triggering something for me, because I used to always have like one toe out just in case it got too hard and I had to quit. Like, I didn't want anyone saying like, oh, I knew she was going to quit. So I came back a little bit and like give myself this buffer. And I'm taking that away now. Because just like with my fitness, coaching, you know, it's not an option for me to fail. This is my full-time income. This is my personal satisfaction. This is for me. And so I'm going all in. And that leads me to my other takeaway, which is that anything is possible. When I see these coaches and they're on a stage presenting to like hundreds of people in a room or thousands of people in a stadium, some of them have only been doing it a year or two. They're not like super professional, awesome, superheroes. They're regular people. They have problems just like you and I. Sometimes they can't sleep. Sometimes their kids are whiny, or they can't get their spouses on board. They're just regular people, and they've done the going all in. They've put their nose to the grind, and they have made a life for themselves that I want. And I see these regular human beings, and I think, well, I'm going to give myself permission to go in all in on this too. If they can do it, I'm going to believe that I can do it too. So it was very affirming to go there and to have, to be on the street full of 25,000 people, and we're all listening to the same trainer, and we're all fighting through the same workout, and we're high-fiving each other and cheering for each other and snapping photos. So many whole, I love this so much. I don't even know what to say. It's just everything that I maybe was missing in my life before this. Now I have the friendship, the career, the confidence, the body that I want, or almost, just my cup overflows. That's all I got.
That's a lot. That's amazing, Jody. Thank you. That's a really great takeaway. Christine, you're up. Oh, I'll unmute you. Maybe I won't. I think you're, can we hear you? Go ahead. No, we can't hear you. Can anyone else hear? It's just not me who can't hear.
I also cannot.
Oh no, that was Chanel. I was like, oh, we can. Awesome. Okay. Let's work on that. You can keep trying it, and we'll have someone else talk, and you just occasionally say a few words, see if we can get you in there. All right, Erica, we're going to move to you.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes? I can't hear you. Okay, you're muted. That's
yeah,
okay.
I just muted. That's why. Okay.
Okay, I don't know. Jody put it better than me, but really, yeah, it was amazing. Everyone has to go to Summit. I don't know. For me, the biggest takeaway, I listen to coaches talk every single day on podcasts. So that was amazing, but to see them up front on the stage and everything was awesome. But for me, I took a lot more away from, I was looking for personal development, because sometimes I struggle with personal development. And one thing that I can't remember who said, I just wrote it down, is that personal development is personal. So just because everyone else is talking about jab, 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 or right hook or the slight edge doesn't mean it's for you. So you need to look for what do you struggle with? What is stopping you in this business? What is holding you back from inviting? What is holding you back from getting coaches? What is holding you back from going all in? And do personal development about that. Are you missing confidence? Are you lacking, whatever it is that you personally are lacking, that's what you need to do personal development about. So for me, that was kind of because a lot of the books that everyone's saying to read, I find them not motivating. I already know a lot of the stuff they're talking about because I've read tons of sales books, and to me it's boring. So that was a huge thing. And the other, this summit's amazing just because you really get in touch with, like Larissa was saying, you get in touch with your why. It becomes really clear to you, really, really clear. And you laugh, you cry, and you reflect, and you're with 28,000 other people on your team, and it's incredible. And I really liked Sean T. My other point was about Sean T. And he said 3 things, and it was really cool. The stage was all lit up, and these letters were slowly unveiling, and he was so passionate. And I'd never seen him speak. I didn't know he was a motivational person, and he did podcasts, but I will look them up. He said 3 things: find your truth, the soundtrack of your life. Listen to the soundtrack of your life and find that thing that stops you from moving forward. So, dig deep, and that's where you're going to find your why. What is the soundtrack of your life? build your own business by two other things, truth and belief in yourself. It matters 100% what you say to yourself. The thing that you're doing in the glass house, are you talking about it? That's the transparency. So it's truth, trust, transparency, believe in yourself. And that's why I put out a post, I think, like, I don't know, a couple of days ago, like getting really real with my childhood and the shit I went through. And, you know, was I talking about that? No, but I'm going to now. It's kind of like, I think we've all kind of said, touching on your why and why are you really doing this? And sometimes it's not about like you want freedom or whatever, or you want to stay home with your kids. There's another reason. There's always another reason. And that his presentation for me was like, it really hit home for me and my husband. We both grew up with a lot of hard things happen to us. And we came away feeling like, oh my gosh, we have a real reason to do this. So that was, for me, that was a huge takeaway. Everyone should go watch Shanti's. That's my opinion.
That was awesome. I'm already amazed so much at how had been very little overlap even in our takeaways, which is kind of fascinating. But that's amazing, Erica. Carla, do you want to go next?
Okay, just gotta unmute myself. Perfect. Oh my God, so much. I'm actually feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and it's really funny because I was listening to one of the top coaches, I don't even know which name right now, before I went away, and she was saying, like, after her first summit, she was like, yeah, and then she got home and she was like, now what do I do? And that's kind of how I felt these last 2 days. And I think that extending my stay, like, yeah, it was great. It was awesome spending time with my husband, but it just delayed everything that I wanted to get back and do. So I think that if I try to tack on anything to the trip next year, I'll do it before, because I just, like, I couldn't even sleep. Like, I finally got to sleep in the next morning, and I couldn't sleep because my mind was just going. And then, like, now that I'm finally home, it's like trying to pick up my house back from its million pieces, and like my real job, and like, so I'm just a little bit overwhelmed, but I know that it's all going to come full circle and just a couple of days. So 2 big things that I took away. It's funny because I'd heard about Melanie Mitchell so much, and I'd watch a couple of her videos, but I never really connected with her. But when she was on stage, it really all of a sudden she connected with me, because always growing up, the one thing that everybody always said that they admired about me was my hard work ethic, and how like no matter what at school, like, you know, sometimes my friends would be like, you're so lucky you have such good grades, or you're so smart. And I'm like, I'm not that smart. I just work really hard. And it was like the same, like Gary Vee's same message. It was the same thing. And my brother used to tell me that when I was young. He's like, you're actually not that smart. You just work real hard. And it's the same with my fitness. Like, I'm actually not naturally that fit genetically. I just have to work my ass off and watch everything I put into my mouth. So I know that the hard work pays off, and I'm not afraid of that. So yeah, there's a lot. My notes are all over the place, but I've decided to like narrow it down to 2 things that I'm going to take action on by the end of this week, to just make sure that I stay focused. So number 1 is to really nail down a to-do list for my power hour and stick to it. And I'm going to do it no matter what. So I've decided to give up a little bit of my real life job and put that on the back burner, because I really want to go for this. And I'm just going to be willing to give up some of my sales for it. And I've decided that, and I'm going to go for it. And every day, the first thing I'm going to do is my power hour. And then once that's done, then I can deal with my real job. And then the other major thing that I'm going to do is a Facebook training, is a training on my Facebook page. That's the first training, but I'm also going to make more of a concentrated effort of like whatever training I'm doing, I'm going to take action on it right away before I watch another training. Because I've been watching a lot of training stuff, and like while I'm driving, and it is all sinking in there, and I've got all these ideas, but then I need to actually have the time to put them into action. So rather than just think like I'll get to them, I'm just going to do one and then like act on it. That's it.
Awesome, Carla. That's so awesome. I love that. And duplicate it. You should make sure that with the training that you take in, that you can then teach it to your team or the team, whatever. Okay. Awesome. Okay, Trish, you're up.
Hello. Okay. So can everyone hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So my first one, I just love, because I think from the get-go, when I really became a coach, I believed in this, and I did it. But then I think over time I lost track of it. And so Summit like brought it back, and now I'm going to concentrate on it again. So what it is what you believe and what you think you become. So what this means is like, if you believe, so whatever the next maybe rank that you want to be, say you want to be emerald, or say you want to be diamond, or now you're looking at the leadership ladder. For me, I want to be a team leader next. Maybe you want to have like a certain number of coaches under you. Whatever you believe and think, and if you really believe in that, it has to be something that's like reasonable for you. You can become that. So what I took away from this is that I really, truly believe that you should create your own team page. I know a lot of people, some people are pairing up and doing that. I created mine right from the get-go, which I thought was great. My team page is Team Iron Will because of the fact that I did the Ironman. So we're Team Iron Will, and I created that really from day one. But what I'm noticing now is that I haven't been posting to it very regularly. So since I've been back, I've been posting daily. This is something that I want to be true. Like, I think I was hesitant. I think sometimes you can get too caught up with thinking maybe you're not a leader yet just because of a certain rank, and that's not necessarily true. So again, you just got to believe of where you want to go and what you want to become, and just do it. So now I'm believing that I am a leader, and I'm just going to like post every single day. So that's one thing. Also, I think that you should just visualize. A lot of people say this, like, you've got to kind of take some time every day, visualize what you want, especially when it comes to a team. So if you see yourself as like at the elite, or if you see yourself as a diamond, 1-star diamond, 2-star diamond, you've got to visualize your team. What do they look like? And duplication. Duplication is so important. Everyone kept on saying this. Create documents, create videos, post them on YouTube. Even if they're privately at first, just post them. It doesn't matter. You have to act like you are already there, even if you're not there yet. So just create the documents. If you need a place to post them to your team page, or post them to Successfit right now. Just do it, because guess what? They are going to come. They're going to need it, and you're going to already have them done. So I think, I love that, Jody. Build it and they will come. It's absolutely true. Okay, and then the second takeaway, who do you want on your team? You need to know this ahead of time. And I've heard this time and time again, and I have to admit that I have been ignoring it. It's not that I want to ignore it. I think that I just haven't been able to picture that person. So I've been kind of pushing it to the side. So they really, really, like, I know Angie Bellamar, I saw a post from her a really long time ago, and she said this as well. She says she has this girl on Instagram that she literally like has printed off her picture. She's the perfect person who she sees she wants to attract into the business as someone on her team. And the girl, she's never reached out to the girl and even asked her before. But she has printed her picture and she's put it on her dream board or whatever in her dream book. And this is the person, like, I guess she has all the characteristics that she wants in it. And so this is what she's captured. So that's this kind of thing that you need to do. You need to capture the characteristics. Are they moms? Are they single? Are they, how many kids do they have? What are their hobbies? What are they eating? What do they look like? Anyway, all these kind of characteristics, you've got to picture that person and capture this stuff down in writing. What do they look like on the inside and on the outside? I really love that. Then look at yourself and what would motivate you. So when you're posting this stuff on your page or on your like fitness page or on your personal page, what kind of things would you post that would motivate you? So you got to think of the same things. If you're thinking of a similar person, you got to think of the same characteristics. What would motivate them as well? So you're looking at target words. Read your posts as an outside person, and would that motivate you? And then that kind of like, so then you can create your ads from that as well. So if you have this person in mind, that's who you're speaking to, you can create these posts, you can boost those posts, or you can create ads from those posts. So that's what I took away. I think I took away that stuff because those are my next steps. Everyone's in a different place. I understand that, but this is what I took away the most, because I'd either been ignoring it or I had done it and I had just been slacking.
That's an awesome point, Trish. I'm glad you closed on that, because I think you're right. You almost the same way that Chanel made the point of saying what is for you will not pass you. We typically take in what we're ready for, and that's it. That's all we'll take. So that's really great. I know there's a few more. I know there's 4 more people who are on at Summit, so I'm going to move on. I'd love to hear what they have to say. Monica, are you still on? Would you share your 2 takeaways? Or
yeah, sure. I had just put one in the comments, but I'm just going to read it. It was from Melanie, actually. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she said that, you really have to take control. Like if you want change, if you don't like a situation, change it. If you want change, you really have to work for it. It does tie in with the hardworking one, which really hit me as well when, I can't remember who it was, so, just the work hard, like it's what you put in while everyone else is partying. And even Gary Vee's like video that you posted today to the team, like, hey, it's August and everyone's loafing around. Like Julia's, my boss called me today and was like, oh yeah, how are you doing? It's so slow, nothing's happening. And I was like, yeah, that's what everyone says because it's so easy to say, but you have a choice. Like I have a choice. I'm going up north with the kids next week and a client just called to book a call. Like I have a choice to either work or to, just make excuses. And what really stuck with me was don't settle for average. Like it's easy to just say, okay, like even with rank, like I'm Emerald, I'm going to just coast with that for a while. But to really raise the bar and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to be my best. So what does that look like to define it? So that really stood out for me. Like her session really stood out in terms of stepping out of the comfort zone and putting yourself out there and just saying to people like, hey, this is hard. This is not, because people say to me, even they're like, I don't know how you do it. Like you're still working. I don't get it. And you're home and you're taking care of the kids too. And you're on your own and you're doing Beachbody. Like, how does that work? And it is saying like, it's not easy, but it's at the same time, it's empowering and it's exciting. Like it's something that I love doing. And I think that's the point of it is if you love doing it, you exude that passion for what you're doing, the hard work and the passion combined, like there are rewards and people are seeing that with our posts. So I think we have to remind ourselves that it is, work hard, play hard, to use that picture. Like we had a great time at Summit, but we are working our butts off for that. And, I'm hoping we're all, striving to be on stage next year because these goals are real. And you hear some people speaking that have been coaches for 1 year, 2 year. Some of the speakers said they were only coaches for 2 years or 3 years. And I was sitting there going, that's not that long, and they're hitting even yourself, Bria, like you've done so well in such a short period. So I think it really is looking at where, you are, and that hard work attracts hard workers that lead by example. That just really was my big one.
I love that. That was really awesome. Shaima, I feel like you're coming, we got to watch the sunset through your, through your backdrop there. Can you make sure you're unmuted?
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So my takeaway was from Kiera Hannah about becoming unstoppable when the going gets tough, because I started as a coach around last September, and I'm in school. I was in school full time, doing my nurse practitioner. I've got the 3 kids. I've got a full-time job and a part-time job. Last year I was juggling all of these things, and I kind of got overwhelmed earlier in the year, and took a step back, even though I was still trying to do the vital behaviors and stuff like that. So the reason why that kind of resonated with me is because I know the tough days are coming again. School starts in 3 weeks, both for myself and for my kids and for everything. And I think going to Summit right before the tough days come was probably the icing on the cake that I really needed to just tell me that, listen, I can do this, you know, I can do it. People who are doing it with the same challenges that I have, or sometimes even worse, it's how bad do you want it, you know, and what are the sacrifices you're gonna make to get to where you want to be and to change the lives that you want to change, because there's so many people that actually have reached out to me that are saying that, you know, every day I scroll on my news feed, I see you, and you know, and I feel like, all right, if I'm having a bad day or I feel like giving up on something, that I won't anymore. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it was just what the doctor ordered at the right time in my life per se. And I just want to share all of those with people. And then the second part was kind of just being real, bringing genuine you. What is your story? Sharing that with people, the real side, because I guess people kind of see that, all right, you're always working out, you're always doing this, and is it always easy? And no, it's not always easy. Sometimes you want the whole damn pizza pie too, you know? And so for me, just sharing the struggle and how I'm trying to juggle all of that has been kind of liberating for me in the journey. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shaima. That was really, really great. I love that it was just what the doctor ordered for you. Came into your life when you needed. Bobby,
Yes.
are you open to chatting with us? Wait, let me make sure you're unmuted. Okay, now you're unmuted. Oh, there we go.
I don't know. I didn't even want to go when my husband got me out in the morning, said we had to go. I wanted to just go pack my bags and go back to bed. I was so scared to go. I was scared to leave my family. I was scared to know that this is actually something real. I don't know. But I went. I'm so glad I went. I think I took so much away from being there. And one of the, I guess, biggest part was being together with our team. We talked to each other online, we asked questions, but spending 5 days with these ladies, I'm like, I don't know, just makes you want to cry. But yeah, it's just, you need to go. You definitely need to go next year. It was just, yeah, it's life-changing. The speaker, Sean T, definitely was the one that got to me. And then Gary as well, he got a few things, but those guys together, like, they changed my life. I don't know how it's hard to explain, but yeah, it's amazing. You gotta go.
That's amazing, Bobby. I'm so happy to hear that. You know, I think that it's such a testament to the fact that we have to do that which scares us. You know, if it scares you, you probably should go do it, unless it's dangerous, and then maybe not.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta step out and
Yeah.
go.
Oh, that's incredible. Sharon, can you, I can see you on, I can't see your face, but can you, will you unmute and talk to us? Oh, now we can see your face.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was eating before and I realized it was kind of unsightly. Anyway, from a connection point of view, first of all, I love the summit. I thought it was incredibly well organized and everything went smoothly and seamlessly. And for such a large crowd, it was really well done. I love how you organized everything, Bria, and kept us all together and kept us mingling. You know, it's easy to kind of take off in those sorts of situations. And, you know, part of the thing that I really loved was just the camaraderie and the connection between the group. I loved all the seminars. They were fantastic. But really for me, the big take home was connecting with the group, you know, getting to know each other better, meeting people that you haven't met before, and, you know, feeling less isolated. It's not like we're isolated. We're all on Facebook and stuff, but it's just, it is that connection thing. So that was my biggest takeaway from this summit.
I love that. Thank you. That means a lot to hear that. And I'll share mine. I think this was my favorite summit so far. And I think that's because the first summit I went to, I went alone. Well, my husband came with me, which was very fortunate because I think I would have been petrified, Bobby. So And then last year we had a small team. Chanel was there, and there were four of us sort of real active coaches. And so to have 22 of us there this year was so moving for me. But more so, I think just seeing everyone feel the same passion that I have for making a difference in people's lives and making a difference in my own life. I think that's what makes this all worth it for me, right? That's what makes those early mornings and late nights and all the little messages when you're on the potty in between, whatever you can do. So thank you for saying that. And I'm so glad you guys showed up tonight to share, because that, like, certainly in that sense, being a part of everything together was so impactful for me. But on top of that, I'd say my main takeaways, one, Carl talked a lot. I mean, he's our CEO, and he could stand up there and he could talk about vision and he could talk about strategy. But you know what he talks about the most every single time I hear him speak is how many people are still out there that we can help, that we need to help, because they are sick, because they don't have self-esteem, because they have all the struggles that all of us had and maybe still continue to have as we go through this. And that always reaches home with me. So it was a really strong reminder of how much more I need to give to my challenge groups, how much more I need to be present for the people that I'm talking to, that I need to make sure I'm listening, that I need to make sure I'm there for them, that I need to make sure that I'm showing up and also showing them how I'm doing the hard stuff too. Because that's where this begins, is showing what we're doing and really making a difference in the lives of people, helping them through the hard, as we say, the hard part of making the decision that they're important enough to start this, and the hard part of following through and finishing to the end. So that was a huge thing that I just feel like I left, in this feeling of like, it's time to work on that. It was exciting, but also very serious that there were things to be done. So that was a big one for me. And then, again, every single one of them I could say something about, but I connected with Gary Vee too, because actually earlier on I was at a session with Scotty Hobbs, and he said, you have to find the one thing that makes you special. And for me, I've always felt like the thing that I didn't have a specific natural skill in anything, but what made me like successful in life is that I can work hard, just like what Carla said, and what I know I saw Trish mention. I'm sure a lot of us have that same feeling, but I know that I'm not afraid of hard work. So to hear him speak, to hear him talk about patience was very validating for me too. But when he said, entrepreneurs, people come into this and they think, I'm going to do this for 6 months and see where it goes. And he's like, no, every single day for 5 years, I showed up on YouTube. And that's what it took in order for me to have proper success. And I think that was a good reminder. It was validating, and it was a reminder to me about, we get so caught up in quick results, both as challengers, our challengers, like in pills and wraps, in quick ways of getting somewhere. And we're scared of hard work. So it was just a big reminder for me of how important that hard work is, that if we want to make a difference in this world, if we want to make a difference in our world, that hard work is something we cannot avoid, that you have to just dive in, embrace it. And then that's what feels so good, I think, when you get the results that you want, whether it's in this business or as a challenger. So yeah, those were, I think, big ones that I'm taking away and that just keep singing in my head as I go. Thanks, Chanel. That's my mic drop. Awesome. And yes, suck it up, Buttercup. I don't know. I'm going to send a video around before I wrap it up. I'll just share this, but there was a hilarious video that my husband showed me, and it was about, it was called FWP, and it was about first world problems and people all like sobbing over ridiculous things because, we've got these first world problems. And at the end they said, you either need, I can't remember, something or a straw to suck it up, or, now I'm going to bust. Never mind. I'll ruin it. I'll just send the video because I can't remember. Oh, you need a full cup and a lid because you need to shut the full cup. That's what they said. And I thought that was so funny. Anyway, I'll find it and I'll send it. It'll be funnier when you watch it. So glad you guys hopped on tonight. Thank you for taking this time. I know this is a bit of a longer call, although I think I say that every time. So maybe I should just tell everyone our calls are going to be an hour. anyone have any questions or comments before we close out tonight and dive into the next week?
I would just want to say, I don't know if I can or not.
Yeah, say anything.
I just want to say it was pretty neat for me to see you guys all go to Summit, knowing that I kind of already have a guaranteed ticket next year. So I think it puts a different perspective on it. Like when you guys come back, obviously everybody's pumped and I'm like, yeah, I want to be on that bandwagon. But before you go, knowing that I'm going to be on that bandwagon, like, I don't know, it's just different. It's like, I was stoked for you guys even before you went, and then you came back, and I'm like, okay, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. You know, so this call with all of you giving it to me is like, it's awesome. Oh. And every single one of you made me cry, and I'm going to stop talking now because I'm going to cry again.
Oh, you're so great. And I'm sad, Christine, that we can't hear you because we'd love to hear yours. Well, you could mouth them for a while, but maybe you could do a little video and post it in Successfit so that would be amazing. Anyone else? Thank you, Sabrina. I know it's an emotional, this whole world is very positive and wonderful, and it can be emotional for all of us. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. Honestly.
Wait.
Wait.
Okay. I think that everyone feels this, but we just needed to give you one more shout out, because if it wasn't for you, then no one would be here. And I think that everyone can agree how hard this effing is. And like you said, like you went alone your first year, you had a handful the second year, and then this year you get to have like your whole crew with you. Like, so one, you're amazing. Thank you so much. But two, that we all get to look up to you and use you as our example. And so thank you.
I just want to hide under this blanket.
No, everybody needs to unmute, like, Bria.
Oh, you guys, you make it. You guys are what keep me going. So thank you. This makes it like the best thing I've ever done in my life. So minus having babies, all that stuff. Thank you guys. That was really, really kind. Anyway, okay, I'm excited.
Hey, Bria.
More, you guys rock. Thank you for being on tonight, for those who could make it to Summit and those who couldn't, for showing up. And I'll definitely post the recording in Successfit. But let's go make this another amazing year and change some lives. Add some more people to our awesome community here. Peace.
Mic drop.
Bye, guys. Thank you.